Phantom Doctrine is a new turn-based strategy RPG. It's set during the Cold War. I like that the setting is in an era with lower tech than modern day. It makes it feel refreshingly new. There's something different and grounded about seeing something from the past that doesn't have all that modern and futuristic equipment. Phantom is not a fast-paced game. I would go as far as to call it slow, as it builds its tension and then it may or may not explode depending on how you go about your missions. Being that this is an espionage game, you'll be controlling a team as you infiltrate an area. This is where the tension begins to build. You'll want to learn the lay of the land and try to find the placement of the guards. The infiltration phase makes you feel like a spy since the enemies haven't seen you as hostiles, and you try to sneak throughout the area to try and take out your target, acquire additional weapons and materials for you to be able to use later. I found it very satisfying to learn the level and then determine which route or approach to use to maintain that stealth. And you'll want to try and not get noticed or detected, as once you are, there's an infinite number of respawning enemies that will continually come in different waves to try and take you out. Since you're a small team, you can put up a fight, but you can't take out an army. The game likes to use fog of war as a means to not let you be able to see the whole map at one time. You need to be within the space that you want to look at, or beside it, like near a window or door, to be able to peek in. Knowing when to attack and deciding which attacks to use can be really fun. As you take out guards, you can dispose of bodies so they do not raise an alarm. Sometimes when you take out a guard, it will prompt another enemy to try and search for that soldier because they haven't checked in a while. Each turn, you can only move so far and you can only do so many actions, so you're going to need to use your turns wisely, especially when planning out your attack. This is something that really stood out to me. Even though the pacing may be slow, it isn't boring at all. It's slow because it isn't always high action gunfights, but rather you're focusing on being more cloak and dagger, which allows the game to really continually build that tension. It is really satisfying to hide in an area and then have an enemy miss spotting you since you're tucked away in a corner. Well executed plans give the player a great sense of satisfaction. You'll get a nice variety of moves and weapons to use in combat. For the stealthy approach, you can focus on suppressed weapons and taking down enemies. When an enemy is either knocked out or killed, they will remain on the floor. If you're still trying to maintain your stealth, you need to use a turn to dispose of the body so the guards won't find them. Taking down enemies works with comparing your health to the enemy's health. So if your character has a higher health rate than the enemy, then you can take them down with no fuss. But if your opponent has higher health than you, then you need to injure them a little bit to get their health to be below yours to take them out. This maneuver can be really useful when wanting to take down an enemy without giving them the opportunity to then react to you and shoot you back. When in combat and while firing at your opponents, the game will switch to a perspective that's almost like a third-person shooter. In short, this is a thinking man's type of game, and the game encourages finding the best strategy to succeed. It will autosave after every turn, being really useful if you have just misstepped and you want to go back and just backpedal a little bit to correct it. Successful missions result in experience points and level ups for your characters. When not in missions, you can go back to your hideout and send other agents out on missions, make progress in your investigations, craft upgrades for your agents, or give your characters time to heal in the infirmary. I have run into a few bugs where my movement cursor wouldn't show up, so I had to start the whole mission over again. The hideout does make you feel like you're running your own spy organization. Sending people out on intel missions, dealing with agents being ambushed, participating in infiltrations and gunfights are all very enjoyable. If you're looking for a turn-based strategy RPG, then I would recommend you check this game out. My full review for the game will come much later, as this game is really long and extensive. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, check out some of my other ones. If you'd like to help support the channel, check out my Patreon page at the end of this video and the description down below. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.